Welcome back to Pathfinder Kingmaker. So, I was a bit taken aback by this when I got out of the throne room. Didn't expect the city to be this much changed. But it's fun. To the Capital Library, that's also something new. Apparently there's no music, only crickets. Never been to the library yet, so... Oh, whoa there. This section is devoted to the rulers of the Stolen Lands kingdoms that existed in the past. Among them are the following esteemed monarchs. Niels Strunge, Njal, Caincore, shareholder, 6.66, Noah Kanoi, Noah Hackle. Yeah, sure. Something, Levitch. Obsidian Entertainment. Olivier Gethier, Andre Stava, Overlord, Ferrum, Paul Anderson, Paul B. Curry, Paul Danes, blah blah blah. I expect that these names are employees in Obsidian Entertainment. There's a book here. Secret Overlords, the Essence of the World Order. I'll just leave it here. Does this building serve any actual purpose except for being credits for beta testers and Obsidian Entertainment employees? I really like this way of featuring the names of people who have helped out with the game and so forth. It's very original. Is this place that big? Yes. Book. What's in here? Great kings and queens of the past. King Joel MacGillivray Bove. Huh. So I have a library dedicated to all the great kings and queens of the past who happen to be employees and beta testers of the game. And otherwise contributors to the game. I like this. Did I see a person? Yep, the head librarian. Shh! Silence in the library. And best not blink. I don't recommend that. Goblin Poetry Collection. I expect that it's only more books. Okay, so we have a library, that's cool. However, I did do the selling and all that, so let's head out and look for Tristian at the Temple of the Elk. And then before we do the main quest things, we should probably also try to what's it called? Annex the Tors of Lebanese into the kingdom. And I guess I can call it a kingdom now, even though I haven't been crowned yet. They're still calling me a baron, but... yeah, thank you. I have Amiri back. I could have gotten her to be the new chieftain of the tribe, but I failed in that. Had I read the guide, I probably would have managed. But as I said earlier, I only consult the guide occasionally. I think Caledorn needs a rest. as a random encounter that we can do for my achievement progress. And cast Bless. Speaking of that, I probably should get Controlled Fireball on the line, since I tend to use that quite a bit. Goblins make such cute sounds. Okay, I guess the young Dweomer cat that I still don't know where it comes from. Must be some ability that I have. Kill the other goblin. Let's continue on a little bit. Stop here and camp. I need to put Amiri back into hunting, and we can make chocolate ice cream. Actually, I think we'll do that. I think we'll make chocolate ice cream. +3 to all skill checks is quite useful. And they do forage if you have a hunter assigned, even if you're using rations, it would seem. I'm not going to bother with that right away. Yeah, there's definitely stuff going on here. Or pilgrim. Skin and collect. The water is crystal clear and seems to radiate a gentle, soothing shine. Now, I don't want any monsters to be around the temple. While my character might not be a devotee of Erastil. Okay. Bloom. The first thing we find is a trap. This place is brimming with a wild, unpredictable force that makes your skin tingle. Using any kind of magic here might prove a real challenge. Good thing we're not completely dependent upon that then. No, it's not correct. just should stay behind. This looks like the ever-blooming flower. Why is there no music? Ah, and look at the flower. Large wilted flowers lie throughout the area. They look almost exactly like the flowers from the cave beneath Silverstep Lake. Side entrance here as well. Primal Shambling Mound and 2 traps. Oh, wild energies. So this is a wild magic place. Do I need to use Arim? Okay. But that didn't do anything either. How do I kill this thing? Regeneration 10 permanent. Say anything about how it can be killed. No, not really. I need to disable that. Does acid kill it then? Leave it alone then. There's some kind of tomb here. This I did not expect. Ugh, handicaps. Wait, that was Masterwork Scythes. Stone Golem. An old bookcase crammed with dusty tomes. Many of the books have been ruined by mildew or water. Fairy Tales of Avistan. Now why are you guys slow? Because of a slow effect. Arim, can you cast Restoration on Amiri, please? Crude drawings cover the side of the bookcase. Someone also began carving a word, but never finished, so all you can read now is AR. Message for Guard Captain. I have checked and reinforced all the protective spells I could. They may not be not enough. Okay. I remind you again that the criminal is cunning and very strong. I recommend changing the guards every 6 hours. Wardens should receive a thorough briefing, including recommendations on maintaining the magic barriers, and they should be well rested and ready for anything. In the case of the prisoner's apparent death, they must remain vigilant. Even after death, this creature can find a new incarnation and continue to bring evil into the world. Robe of the True Master. Well, I guess we could equip that on Caledorn. Robe of Fire is nice, but it isn't that nice, because that is a very good robe. Look at this. These books are newer than the ones on the other shelves. Is this someone's idea of a joke? What is this place? I also wonder why there's no music here. Star Knife. Handful of gems. Masterwork rapier. On a damp sheet of paper there are pictures of sun, trees and a glade filled with flowers, all drawn by a child's hand. A broken children's toy covered with mold. Someone hid a pillowcase beneath the sheets. It's rotten and stuffed with various things. And this crumpled piece of paper is covered with a charcoal sketch of a gloomy building with a huge lock on the gate. There's a Falchion +4. And then there's a torn children's book. A thin hand-bound book filled with bright pictures is torn and ink-stained. After you thumb through several soiled pages, you find a part you can make out. K for Kelid. That's how we call barbarian heroes from the cold country. Kelids are brave and strong. Kelids live in Numeria. The ruler of Kelids is Kevoth Kul, the Black Sovereign. L for Linorm. Linorm is a wingless dragon. Linorm can't cast spells. Linorms live in the lands of the Linorm kings. Linorms like gold. Linorm has lots of treasures. M for Mammoth. Mammoth is mighty and woolly. Mammoths can never get cold. Mammoths like snow and cold. Mammoths live in Numeria. People would have a hard time without mammoths. Mammoths give us milk and meat. Numeria is a land of Kelids. In Numeria, Kelids are on the watch. The rest of the book is unreadable. Why would there be a child's bedroom here? Skin and collect, and here's a book, Secrets of Numeria. Lore Religion. A crude altar to Gorum has been erected on the remains of Torag's temple. Okay. Here's the Paragon of Defenders. Increases the wearer's armor class by 2 and gives +3 to persuasion checks made to intimidate. One of the wearer's allies falls unconscious from damage. The wearer takes a -2 penalty on attack rolls and skill checks for as long as they are farther than 10 feet away from the fallen ally. I guess it's a good helmet, but I don't think it's good enough for me to warrant using it. That'll be a nice little income. Collapsed ceiling has blocked this passage. Who's this? Ah, a defaced sister. A slim figure clad in grey cloak is nestled in the shadows. Through the holes in the veil that covers her face, eyes stare out at you, sharp green like emeralds. You have found this place. I knew you would come. I was afraid to meet you here, yet I still hoped you would come. Use detect magic. A strong magic aura surrounds the woman's figure. It seems that the spell that caused it belongs to the Abjuration School of Magic, and its creator is a much more powerful spellcaster than the defaced sister herself. We have met in a tomb in Dunsward. Yes, your words made me remember who I once used to be. They gave me hope, no matter how false, no matter how short-lasting, that I would be able to free myself from the service. I need answers. Ask away, but you should know the one I serve has put a spell on me. If I try to play against her, I will die. But there are some questions answering which will kill me faster than I finish talking. Who are you? Our name must be the only piece of truth among all our lies. We really are sisters, the nymphs from the first world, bounded by blood with the one who turned the ties of our blood into shackles. We truly are defaced. When she shared her curse with us, she deprived us of our freedom, our names, and our beauty. Is there a way to free you? I doubt that. To do it, I'd need a mage stronger than she, or a cleric who would be able to ask their deity for a true miracle. My shackles are solid. I will be free from the curse only the day when she herself is freed. Guess it's our old friend, the nymph. What did she do to Tristian? He's like us, our stepbrother in misery. You must know already he's not a regular man. He's a child of higher planes, Sarenrae's diva, who fell into my sister's trap and was forced to serve her. His task was to aid your ascension and your fall, but his will was strong enough to fight her commands. I beg you to forgive his betrayal. There is no hope left for me, but he. Everything is not lost for him, not yet. Sorry, no. Little lying or caving in to a higher power could be forgiving, but stabbing your friends in the back? Not a chance. Whom do you serve? Once she was our sister, the most powerful, the most beautiful of the nymphs of the first world. Then she was cursed and banished. I know not why. We followed her into exile, hoping to give comfort, but she changed. As cheerful, wise, and gentle she had been back home, she became arrogant, wicked, and cruel in these mortal lands. You can see for yourself what she's done to us, but it's not the worst thing she has done, believe my words. What is her curse? All I know, she eagerly shares it with the others. Canopy of curses looms over the stolen lands, a web so dense that sometimes a single careless word spoken in anger is enough to tap into its energies. What are you trying to achieve? I can only guess on what she has planned, and I'm not even sure she has a plan at all. Maybe it is simply some game that lasts for thousands of years, the rules beyond my comprehension. Or perhaps she does what she does to amuse herself, a distraction from her own pain. Century after century she does the same thing. First, she finds within her lands something she calls an empire. It may be a village led by a strong chieftain, or outlaws that terrorizes the roads, or even caves of trolls and kobolds, any centre of authority in these lawless lands. She helps this new empire flourish, only so she might destroy it. Lies, violence, magic, blades of her new favourites. This is her arsenal she uses to destroy dreams, hopes, and the very lives of those she formerly nurtured and protected. So I was one of her toys from the beginning. Yes. You have defeated the Stag Lord, Tartuk, and Hargolka, dealt with Vordakai. Now the time has come for her to destroy you as well. Thank you for answering my questions. I am glad I can do something for you. I have to go. Wait, before you leave, I'd like to help you. The spell I am bounded with won't spare my life, but my death will be my only independent decision in many ages. Please, take my blessing. You don't have to sacrifice your life for me. A weak sigh comes from under the veil. My life is over now. Do you really think that the one I serve hasn't learned of my betrayal? If she didn't want us to meet, this encounter wouldn't have happened. The only freedom that remains is the freedom to choose my own death. I do not wish to die by her hand, and I won't do what she sent me to do. So why did she send you? The sister raises her hand. Instead of a fingernail, a bright tourmaline lies embedded in her fingertip, encrusted with caked blood. This stone holds a powerful spell of imprisonment. A touch, a single secret word, and you'll disappear underground, outside time, trapped forever between life and death. But I'd rather die than curse you so. Why won't you target this spell against the one who enslaved you? I thought about that, but this is all just idle dreams. She'll know my intentions long before I build up my courage, and she'll kill me before I come anywhere near her. I have a better idea. Use this spell on yourself. It is a faint hope, but a hope nevertheless. A day shall come when her curse dissolves, and then you will be free. But, by the Green Mother, you're right. She won't find me underground. Thousands of years shall pass before her curse dissolves. It may never happen, but still, it's hope. Thank you, and farewell. Burial in the depths as the only way to escape a trap. Truly an amazing finale. I am pleased to have been witness to the act. Perhaps one day I could turn such a spell on myself in reverse. Leave the world without fuzz. After giving you one last emerald glance, the sister shuts her eyes, whispers the secret word, and presses the jewel against her chest. For a moment she's still, then disappears into the ground without a trace. That was a very interesting encounter. Finger of Death. Well now. Harim, can you do something about that? Oh wow. Yeah, that's probably a better choice. How about you dispel that trap, Lindsay? Finger of Death is a bit nasty. Unicorn's Horn. Detailed map of Numeria covered with markings. Ooh-ha, indeed. I keep messing that up. A rim. Lost is down. That was a painful battle. Red caps are really nasty. Nunchaku. Old Ardent. Not something that I'm going to use. Masterwork. And non-masterwork. Training dummies covered with marks made by what looks to be a wooden sword. And you can probably heal yourself. And there's an iron golem there. But it's green. Can I talk to it? An iron golem darkened by time towers over you. It is massive, created by unknown masters. Its huge arms seem capable of snapping you in two, but it remains still. Examine the golem. Mighty armored plates protect the mechanisms that can set the massive figure into motion. This golem was obviously built for fighting. Step away from it. Alone. There's a trap there as well. The defaced sister before you moves like a broken puppet. Her feet are unsteady, and she sways slightly back and forth, as if attached to invisible strings. There's Tristian, I think. Her hands dangle limply from the wrist, and her clothes are smeared with blood. Instead of an eye, the oculus of Abaddon rests within her eye socket, the artifact gleaming with a wicked red light.
My elder sister left. You're late. The Oculus of Abaddon gave me the power to foresee the path to my sister's desire. She is already on her way.
I came for Tristian. Give him to me and we'll go our separate ways.
I won't do that. Besides, why would you need someone who lied to you every step of the way, concealing his true goals and his true self? Look at him. Did you know he was once one of my kind, a creature from the outer planes? Now all that remains of the sacred servant of Sarenrae is a husk.
What happened here?
Exactly what was destined to happen. My mistress granted me a boon few of my kind could hope for. My body and my soul became a vessel of great power. Tristian, my sister Skylark, betrayed you. He used you to infiltrate Vorticai's lair and bestowed my sister's curse upon him. He stole his treasure, the Oculus of Abaddon, an artifact capable of revealing that which is hidden. The Oculus showed me the hiding place of... No, that is enough. Though your death is assured, such knowledge can wait.
I have met others like you. Tell me, who are you?
An emissary from the First World. A servant to the power that came to these swamps against her will. My duty is a heavy one, but I bear it without faltering. I shall not bow. Not before destiny, not before my enemies, and not before creatures such as you.
Too bad you are unlikely to agree to give me an interview, dear. I spent years studying the First World, but I think it's the first time I see a case of such remarkable expansion to the material plane. The last event that could compare in the scale was the Gnome's Exodus.
Oh, Jubilost. What sister are you talking about?
She's the queen of this horizon and horizons unseen. She's the mistress of dreams and the embodiment of all mortal desires. She is wrath, and she will crush these lands to dust. I serve Nyrissa, mortal.
When you hear this name, a chill crawls down your spine. A supernatural coldness freezes your shoulders for a moment, but then the feeling passes. Tristian, can you hear me? Wake up! The cleric of Sarenrae doesn't even turn toward you. He's immersed into desperate prayer to his goddess.
Save your breath. This Skylark has broken his wings, and now he's useless. I'll rid myself of him after I've finished with you.
Enough. Tell me, where did Nyrissa go?
She went after what the Oculus of Abaddon revealed to her. She will not return. She has ordered me, the most loyal of all sisters, to remain here and ensure nothing leaves these chambers. You see, these lands were our home long before you appeared. These walls witnessed another mortal who, like you, serves Nerissa's goals now. We taught him. We showed him the way. We told him what to believe and whom to serve. My eldest sister, Nyrissa. She is the mistress of half-truths, exploiting hopes and weaknesses of others with her words. All it took to control Armagh was some books and legends about his great destiny. All it took to control Tristian was deceiving him into thinking it was Nyrissa who deprived him of his holy gift. She who cursed him with a mortal body.
Lies. So that was all lies?
And all it took to control you, upstart Baron, was a lure. The promise of your own lands to rule. And you bought it. All of you. Enough. You are a thing of the past, and I must rid this place of you, and Tristian. Get ready for oblivion!
Wait, that's not all I wish to know. But apparently that's all we get to know. Disintegrate. Let's do Inspire Competence. You can do Banshee Wail. You can cast Haste. You can cast Chameleon Stride, Greater. And you can charge her. Okay. I think we have to focus on her. But that doesn't mean we can't cast a fireball. And another one, please.
Will destroy the thing that seduces others. Power that can disperse the darkness. Evil incarnate must be destroyed.
Destroy it, Tristian. Tristian reaches down and takes the oculus of Abaddon from the sister's eye socket. Then he steps back, raises his hand to his eyes, while raising the other hand with the artifact firmly clenched in it to the sky and sun hidden behind the stone masonry.
Merciful Seren Ray Dawnflower, hear the prayer from your apostate. I am powerless to fix what I've done, but I can prevent others from following the same road. Grant me courage and light my way in the eternal darkness that awaits.
For a moment, the dim room is brightly illuminated. A flower made of blinding light blooms in Tristian's palm. The cleric utters a last sigh and presses his palm engulfed in sacred fire to his eyes. With his other hand, he releases the oculus of Abaddon, and it falls to shatter on the ground.
The destruction of the oculus in exchange for eternal darkness. There's no worse punishment for Seren Ray's servant than to be deprived of her light forever. But it is fitting for all I have done. Let me tell you something before you decide my fate. Nyrissa is gone. She cannot keep me silent any longer. I'm tired of lies and deception. Our meeting wasn't a coincidence. It was Nyrissa who sent me to the Temple of the Elk. She conjured that fog and sent Jod a version of the place. Since then, I've been watching you, waiting for a time to act. For Nyrissa. But that's not all. I helped her create and plant the unwilting flower that almost destroyed your barony. As you can see, everything that happened in Vorticai's tomb was but one of my many crimes. That is all. Deal with me however you think best.
Tristian, who are you?
I am a Deva. Once a sacred servant and messenger of Seren Ray herself. Once it was my calling to heed mortals' prayers and to deliver them to other servants of the goddess. That was before I fell into a trap set by Nyrissa. She took from me my powers and severed my bond with my goddess. At least, that's what I had thought. Nyrissa threatened that if I didn't serve her, she'd never return my wings and I'd never speak to Seren Ray again. She made me... I'm lying to you again. If it wasn't for my cowardice, Nyrissa would never have broken me to her will. But I was afraid to remain mortal.
So we have a warrior of the divine armies of light here. To put it nicely, I suspected that Tristian wasn't honest with us, but I never assumed something like that.
Who is Nyrissa?
A nymph. One of the most beautiful of all creatures. Most wicked of all monsters. But who she is, what she wants, I do not know. I ran across her while traveling through the negative energy plane. A strange wound, like something had pierced time and space. In my pride, confident in my powers, I followed its path to this world. She dealt with me in a heartbeat. Before I could flee, she had entrapped me, filling my mind with horrible nightmares. And when I awoke, I was mortal. I had no choice. No choice at all.
Tell me about Narissa's search for the Oculus.
Nerissa discovered an ancient power awakening beneath the tours of Lebanese. She knew of Vorticai, and she also knew of the Oculus. What she did not know is the location of his tomb. The defaced sisters and the Numerian barbarians serving them were dispatched to search for the tomb's entrance. But you found it first, and you would have acquired the Oculus if it were not for me.
What did Nerissa want the Oculus of Abaddon for?
I don't know. After I failed her, after I failed to destroy you, she became angry with me. The only way to regain her favor was to find the Oculus of Abaddon and bring it to her. I don't know why she wants it, only that she will destroy anything in her path to possess it, including you. I beg you, be careful. She never forgets any who dare challenge her.
The sister mentioned some lies about sacred gift and mortal body.
When I awaked from Nerissa's enchantments, I was mortal, no longer a deva. Nerissa said she'd taken my gift of immortality and severed my bond with my goddess. But, according to what the sister said, I don't understand what's true anymore and what is not. Before this, I thought Nerissa stood between me and Sarenrae, but it seems like she was lying.
No! Just look at him! He's been lied to. And how about lying to your friends with whom you sit by the fire and fight shoulder to shoulder? I haven't seen such nastiness in a long time, and he pretended to be this goody-goody!
What is this ever-blooming flower you're talking about?
This was Nerissa's creation. A strange plant with seeds that bring death to the mortals and open gates to the first world. I don't know much else. All I've done was use my knowledge of the planes to root the flower in 2 worlds simultaneously. What Nerissa did was deplorable, but I am not blameless. Sarenrae as my witness. I didn't want it to happen as it did, but in my fear of losing her divine light, my resolve crumbled, so I did what I was ordered to do.
Those cultists from the Kingdom of the Cleansed who tried to kill me, were you involved with that too?
Partly. Nerissa charmed the First Faithful, promised him and all his followers a paradise in exchange for your head. My job was to lure you to the trap. But Nerissa ordered me only to lure you to the trap. She never forbade me to protect you. That's why I fought by your side in that battle.
I've made up my mind about what to do with you. It seems to you that a shadow of fear crosses Tristian's face, but he keeps silent. No more suffering. You are forgiven, Tristian.
Thank you. I'll leave you and head for the city. A walk will help me to figure out how I can make amends for everything.
He nods in farewell. Till we meet again, Caledorn. So, we've done that. Let's loot the red caps. Probably we should also see if there's a trap on that. There are gloves of elven kind and a piece of sky metal. That is a useful item. Among the glassware and damp paper notes, there are cut flowers, buds, petals and leaves. Vials and flasks are lined up neatly on the shelves. The fluids inside them have darkened and turned to sludge. Okay, so we got Tristian back, and I think we definitely need to end the episode here. So that's what we'll do, and we'll finish this abandoned keep in the next episode and then head back to the capital and reinstate Tristian as our regent. So thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you all then.